Absolutely. So Lisa and I will talk about that a bit. So I'm Herman Gier. This is
I'm
Lisa
Lisa
Friedman.
Friedman, and
We're,
whatever Ivan just said, we did together.
Lisa and I are a pair. So even though it looks like she's somewhere in front of the Golden Gate Bridge and I'm sort of somewhere else, I'm actually right here. We're sitting next to each other. And just like we're sitting next to each other, we do things together as well. We just wrote an article called Foresight Shock, which is an article that, actually not an article, it's a small chapter for a book on foresight. And one of the things Lisa and I both originally were psychologists, and have an interest in seeing how the human element in this climate crisis can be mobilized in ways that does not have to get people to deny what's going on or look the other way or just ignore it or whatever natural ways we have to deal with things, but rather to actually see it for what it is and learn to step into it and draw from capacities that we actually have, right? Think of a fireman or a first responder and how they step into the fire rather than running away from it. So humans are quite capable to move into challenging situations, and how can we help mobilize that kind of thing, because we can't avoid the reality of the crisis we're in that continues to grow and continues to expand. And so how do we do that? You want to talk a little bit about the idea scale thing, or?
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. Yeah.
sure.
It was your original idea, so
Yeah. So we've had, just I have a dog that's bugging me that needs
I'll take
to
care
get
of the
him
dog.
something. So Herman and I have worked together for years on, he needs something to, yeah. So Herman and I have worked together for about 30 years in this company that's been about always helping companies look forward and to see the strategy and what's coming from the future, and then how to create into that new emerging era, which sometimes was sustainability era, sometimes was digital, and then has since has been regenerative. So you can probably tell from what he's saying is that what we've taken all of what we've been doing is general sustainability, innovation for sustainability, strategy for sustainability, and moved it into climate, just because we see climate as being what's kind of the most urgent element of all the different sustainability things we could be working on. So with that, we have partners that we've worked with, IdeaScale, and they're a tech company, an innovation platform. So they're an innovation tool where we've done how to get people to see where the world's going, develop the strategy, and then what's the way to engage all of their people to build that future. Once they identify, here's a territory and we're moving into that, what are the practices and what are the tools? And so we've brought blueprinting practices and ways to get the people to see the same future, but it's nice to have these online tools where people can put up ideas. So we are partnering with IdeaScale. There's a number of different companies that do this, but they're one of the ones we've liked best. So we're partnering with them, and we're going to be doing a contest where companies can, or NGOs or governments or whoever wants to, teams can say, we would do this. This is how we would use this platform. And an idea campaign is you can put up a challenge that says, what solutions would we create for the climate? Or it could be more specific. Any company could say, or any team could say the specific challenge they'd like to have, and then send it out to a wide network of people. They can send it to their employees, or they can send it to their network, to their ecosystem. Ivan, you could send it to everybody on your mailing list to do a challenge, and then that this group could run a challenge. So it's really like identify the question you'd want people to respond to, and then people get to individually put in their ideas, and other people can build on each other's ideas, or they can form teams around ideas. So there's a contest where people can, where the prize is to get $75,000 worth of the platform services, and we'll do a workshop at the front to help people think about what their challenge is, but then they get to work on the platform with a campaign with whoever they want to invite. And so one winner gets that whole package. All the winners, anybody who enters, gets a we'll lead them through a workshop, one of our blueprinting workshops that we'll do online. We'll figure out how many people are going to be in it. We'll figure out how many times we have to do that, and do an intro workshop with a talk and letting people, but where they have to take action, right? That's what I like about this group. It's climate action. It's not just we're going to educate ourselves. We're going to hear something, we're going to have a reaction to it, and we're going to identify our first steps. So that's it. One big winner gets the whole platform. Everybody else gets to kind of use it during an event.
And how can this group be part of it? What are the things we can do to sort of be, how can we integrate what we do with that?
Let's brainstorm a couple of ways. I mean, one is if you want to enter so that you can get to use it for the group, that could be one way. And then we won't vote. We're judges, but we won't vote on this group because we're part of it. So that would be one. Another one would be to send it out to your network if you want to have interesting offerings to them. Another one could be that if there are particular things going on, like when we actually do a workshop for the winners and for anyone who entered, maybe there's some, so to be part of those workshops, but maybe there's something that you want us to say or present about the group when we're saying, here's the climate disaster and the crisis, and here's
quite interesting.
some of the solutions. So it could be that we can put the group into a slide and just at least show that it exists.
Well, that's really, that's
the
great.
other
That's great.
Top of my head.
we have a few colleagues in Europe that have customers, and they're saying to them, hey, why don't you enter this contest? And so they're already in a consultative relationship with these companies. One is with BMW, and so a department might participate. And then as they do their blueprint, their regenerative blueprint, even if they don't win the big prize, but the small prize, that consultant in his role can continue the work around that blueprint, right? So it's a really, the idea was, we just wanted to start 2022 on a positive note.
It's a great idea.
To say, hey guys, we're going to give this away, go play. Let's see whether we can mobilize some extra energy and action orientation among whoever joins in, right? It's just a way to say, we're going to help you formulate, where do you want to go in this crazy world we're now in? Do you have some kind of fundamental plan about that we call that a blueprint? And then the winner also gets a whole campaign where you can online engage dozens, if not hundreds, if not thousands.
So basically your objective is to get people to join the workshops. No,
we want people, we want
people to be aware of climate and to wake up and.
I understand.
Right.
No, I understand. That's what we.
To join the workshops, exactly. It's a free.
We all want to do that, but your way of doing it, as in Herman and Lisa, is to say, listen, we have a methodology of having a blueprint.
Come join us. We'll help you figure out your plan.
And here, for corporates, this is how much you charge, and this is the way we'll do it. That's pretty much.
There's no charge, right? It's free.
Initially. So the idea scale is to do that. And so that you'll do a workshop, which is great. And then the objective is to get corporates to engage and to actually
network
and get to know each other and just do something.
Exactly.
What could be interesting, Ivan, for you is to think about, if you want to check out IdeaScale, it's I think ideascale.com. Yeah. But a possibility to think through in the future and to see if the network's big enough is that if you actually had that platform as part of this group, as part of Climate Action Forum, would there be any way you want to offer, I don't know if we're a big enough network, so that may not work, but where people could actually buy from you the possibility of running a campaign with your network? Or maybe it works with any of your other networks around a topic in them. And so the business model is other big groups pay you to be able to get to your audience to run a particular campaign, and then there's winners, and they provide a prize for winners.
I'm not really interested in increasing. That's not my focus. What I'm interested in doing is how do we actually commercialize this group so it can be sustainable. So that's my key.
That's just one of the options.
Yeah, no, it's great. So I think that's a very good option.